I expected more activity in the mine, but... Oh, by the green. What happened here? Fomessa. Is she... Oh, no.
Is someone down there? Please, help us!
Someone's alive? Let's hurry.
Now you are a welcome sight. Please tell me the way out of here is clear. We were starting to lose any hope of escape. Show us bones. I ask for aid and they send an auditor. There won't be a mind left to audit. I'm Overseer Ulfengar. The egg tenders behind me are Malsa and Barlock. We barely managed to escape the Quama, let alone those damned cultists. Yes, I sent word days ago asking for more guards. We first saw them sneaking around the mine, but now they've broken in somewhere near the hatchery. They've whipped the Quama into a frenzy, and I'm worried they're trying to poison the clutch. Fomessa went looking for survivors down the southern ramp. An egg tender Gain left to scout the southeastern passageways for a way out. I ended up here with Malsa and Barlock. If there are... Oh, Fomessa. She was hard to steal, and twice as sharp. If she didn't make it, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us. Can you find Gain? He made his way towards the mess cavern not too far from... One of the egg hands, Gain, noticed young Quama returning to their pens with green slime. A few days later, we started spotting cultists skulking about. What better way to poison a clutch than to take the young ones? But there has to be more to it. There are plenty other mines across the peninsula. Killing this brood would only be an inconvenience to the consortium. But yet the cult...
From my notes, I think this was Gain, one of the chief egg hands. They've torn each other apart. Look, a notice on the pen. Let's see what it says. Green apple. Could that be the source of this frenzy? This poor hive. Wait, who are these people? And what are they doing to this mine?
The afflicted Dicor has proven most effective. It has made short work of this egg mine.
This contagion will destroy Necrom's and leave them begging for Lord Peria's.
Gods. All this destruction. All this suffering. Why are they doing this?
You cannot stop the oncoming plague.
These cultists have done irreparable harm to this egg mine. But at least you dealt with their leader. Thank you. No, what have they done to her? The mine is dead without its queen. Perhaps we can still harvest her pheromone gland? It's the only thing that might help us rebuild.
To help perfect our brew.
Thank you. The consortium may be able to rebuild the hive with that. Poor thing. That's everything. Let's head outside. The Overseer and the others should have made it out by now. Overseer, I'm glad you all made it out. With your expertise in the Queen's pheromone gland, we should be able to reopen the mine in...
Reopen the mine? After the consortium left us to die? To sovereign God with this mine. You've got the Queen's gland, re-queen the mine yourself. We're leaving.
Oha çok
Ulfingar,
güzel.
please reconsider. Ulfingar? Friend, can you please talk
If
to the overseer?
Sindieth had wandered in here alone and gotten herself killed, how
Aşkım
long
bunun
before the
çok.
consortium
Neden?
sent another?
Sağ ol. Baya güzel.
If Sindieth had wandered in here alone and gotten it failed the moment those consortium hawkers chose to ignore my letters. Does Sindieth really think a queen's gland and some elbow grease will be enough to put that place to rights? You saw what those cultists were doing. It's blighted. Finished. So it's my burden then. Shore's bones. Those bastards are just greedy enough to risk it, aren't they? With a fresh queen's gland. Bah! No, we'd need an army of egg hands, alchemists, a staffed garrison. The consortium would never agree to it. Yeah. I guess we'll find out.
That sounded like it went well. Please tell me you have some good news. I really need something to soften the blow of this report to my... Oh, trust me, I'll make sure the consortium does what is right. Send an auditor in place of soldiers. Unbelievable. The safety of the people of Necrom is my highest priority. Take my thanks.
Good. You can start by making sure the families of those lost in the mine are properly taken care of.
Of course. Honoring those lost is the first step towards making things right. The first of many.
Bir daha tanırsın, birlikte seversen
I can't believe she just threw me out. What am I going to do? Please, I have no one else I can turn to. I need help. I worked as a servant in the towers of Tel Drelloth. Nathan, the son of Mistress Drelloth, is being kept prisoner there. At least, I think he must be. Nathan and I had plans to leave Tel Drelloth together. Someone must have found out because the day we planned to leave, I was dismissed from my position. Mistress Drelloth, or Sethiel, I suppose, pushed me out without a chance to see Nathan. She's holding him against his will. He'll be in the isolation tower. The only access is through the lab and the caverns that run underneath. There's a key on the top floor of the main tower. Can you help me? I'll pay for your assistance. Thank the 8 you came along. I had no idea how I would do this on my own. I know Sethiel would just throw me out again, but Nathan is my whole world. I can't possibly leave Tel Drelloth without him. Certainly. You know, it's been so long since I spoke to another outsider. I didn't think I'd miss it so much. I say this with love, but Nathan's not a fighter. He's lived a sheltered life, and Sethiel is a very skilled mage. But he wouldn't fight his mother anyway. Until he met me, he seemed content with heeding Sethiel's every word. I wish I knew. If she were any other Telvanni master, I guess she didn't want her son settling for some low-born servant girl. But nothing like that ever seemed to matter to Sethiel. She was far more focused on her research than her rank anyway. From what I understand, she's trying to cure the Nahatan flu. It took the life of her husband when Nathan was just a baby. I'm sure that's why she's so protective of her son, but there's no way to let him live. I heard Sethiel used to keep test subjects in the isolation tower. If she's keeping him anywhere, I imagine it has to be there. He spends most of his time on the balcony of the main tower, but he hasn't been out there at all since I left. Would it matter? Nathan deserves to make his own choices, regardless of his mother's wishes. And if she really felt that way, why wouldn't she just make her feelings known instead of throwing me out? I wasn't trying to steal him from her. I used to ask myself that question every day. It all happened so fast. I had a big family in Cropsford. We fled east from Cyrodiil when the Three Banners War began. By the time I made it here, I'd lost everyone. I was on my own. She gave me lodging and fair wages, too. She was kind to me, in her way. I used to think it was out of some goodness of her heart that she took me in. Very little, actually. It's not what she said, rather... While packing, I found a note in my belongings, signed by Nathan, full of hurtful things. Things I know he would never say to me. I'm certain of it. I know Nathan's handwriting, and more than that, I know his heart. He'd never say such cruel things to me. And the fact that Sethiel made us so survive, as in how we met? It's a bit of a silly story. I have a habit of whistling while I work. Songs from back home to keep my mind busy. One day, when I was working in the garden, I heard it. Chords of Chim El Adabal, coming from the balcony above me. He'd never even heard it before. He learned it on the loop just from listening to me. He would play, and I began to sing again. It was like Nathan gave me my voice back. And I could think of home again in a way that felt like healing. Nathan started dropping notes for me in the garden.
He folded them so beautifully to look like flowers. He'd make up excuses to send for me. We'd stay up all night talking or reading. It took a long
Ne?
time for either of us to admit our feelings.
Ama hı. Bayağı iyiymiş. Neden gelmiyor oğlu?
I did. I'd suggested that Sethiel was being a little overprotective of him. We were almost arguing about it when I just admitted that I'd fallen in love with him. But I didn't know if I wanted to stay at Tel Dreloth forever like Sethiel.
Hı. Ana yüreği işte. Ana yüreği. Ana yüreği. Ana. Ne yapsın yavrucağız? Bir tane oğlu var. Ben sana söyleyeyim ne yapacak. Kadını seçecek.
That was Nathan's idea. After losing my family, I sought safety and found it in Tel
Kadını
Dreloth.
seçecek.
But over time, we both realized life is too short, too precious to spend it stuck in just one place. We decided we wanted
Drama queen'miş sevgilim çünkü. Drama queen diye yorumladım.
Gelin bakalım.
Ben drama queen diye yorumladım ama.
They're not like the towers, but they're beautiful in their own way.
Sen çocukken istediği zaman istediği şekilde gayet düzensiz bir şekilde bu işleri yapmak isterken Kale Baba dinliyorsun.
Alo. Efendim.
Good. Nobody's noticed us so far.
Hı hı. Hı hı. Bence de öyle olacak ama neyse. Ali'ye ben fotoğraf atmıştım. Ali'ye. Odamdayım çünkü duyuyor musun?
The key is in that chest.
Duyuyor
When
musun?
the researchers misplaced theirs.
Ali'ye ben fotoğraf atmıştım. O da oradakilere göstermiş.
Got it?
Onlar demiş
Let's
ki
speak.
oradakilere. Onlar da demiş ki 1000 ile 2000 arası tutar demişler.
All right.
Ben
We have the key.
söylüyorum göstermiş.
This is going better
Onlar
than I thought
böyle
it would.
demiş.
And it's strange. Everything looks so different.
Tamam yani yarın atacak.
It all feels... Nathan's protective wards. You know, Cecil's magic barriers that kept Nathan's half of the tower in isolation. I couldn't cross them at all. They certainly made tidying up a bit of a trial. Sorry. I guess I've been here so long it's become normal to me. Cecil said the outside world would kill Nathan. And she was working on a cure. But as far as I know, she and her husband were trying to cure the Nahaten flu. He died years ago, when Nathan was just a baby.
Tamam
From the
adam
disease they were trying
halletmek
to
peşinde
cure.
fazla sıkıştırmıyor.
Cecile must be sheltering Nathan for
Götürelim
fear of losing
ustasını
him,
ustası
too.
yapsın işte.
She's doing it out of love. We'll take the portal pad to the cellar. Then the key will get us into the labs. From there, it's just making our way through the
Eğer
caverns to the
o
place
usta
of
ucuza
the-
yapıyorsa öyle de yapar.
So we don't cross. Good question. I've never known her to be
Baksana 1000
particularly
liraya yapıyormuş
methodical,
adam.
but if Nathan's wards were any indication, she does. Nathan's well-being is a family affair, and the researchers are far more focused on their work. They're tasked with observing their subjects for the
Çok
slightest
yakınlar.
changes.
Ya gidince
So
o
they won't keep
attırır
their eyes
ben
on
sana
us for
söyleyeyim.
long. Test subjects for her experiments. Animals, as far as I know. Some of the experiments are rather grisly. I kept away from the lab for that exact reason. I've heard some of these Telvanni use slaves
Adam
for such
atacak
things.
yani.
But Cecil's not like that. No, and that's exactly what worries me. She's testing no
Önce
cures on him
abi
because
sen
there's
buna bir
nothing.
fiyat çek. Önce adam parasını göndersin ondan sonra yaptırırız.
I don't think I've ever seen it this empty down here. Where is everyone? Wait, what are these subjects doing out of containment?
Yok babam da akşam dedi. Eğer bir baktığınız usta bayağı kötü. Yani hani gerçekten gözün altında yapıyor. Sigortadan yaptırın dedi. Kaskodan. Babam en son öyle dedi. Hani konuşun dedi. Adamla dedi. Ben böyle yaptırmak istiyorum kardeşim. Benim arabam bana uyacaksın diyorsun. Neyse götürelim kurmam kafamızda. Götürelim bakalım ustayın önce. Erken çıkıyoruz biraz. Babam çarşamba günü gerisine gidecekler. Aslında. Bana bugün vekalet çıkarttı. Vekalet imzalattım. Benim adım. Annem sen ben işte.
Why are they like this?
Bilmiyorum Emre, yarın
What has Cecile
konuşuruz.
done to them?
İşte yarın otistle görüşme yapacakmış. Planlayacakmış her şeyi. Böyle gidecekmiş. Sana kolay gelsin. Perşembe günü ölürsen bir idare eder. Ondan sonraki günler sen idare edersin. 2 gün zaten.
There. Are those research notes? Look around.
Tamam.
Maybe there's something here that
idare ederiz.
explains what happened.
Olmadan bir köyü var ya bırak. Ne yapayım kardeşim Allah Allah.
It looks like a letter.
Ay
What
bir
did you
şey
find?
diyemem
Anything
ben.
that explains what's happened? Let me see. No, I'd never write such a thing. Did Cecile write this? She
Telefon
really
şurada
thinks
çekiyor.
me?
Burada
What did the
çekiyor.
research notes say?
Sen duyuyor musun beni?
Spores? The researchers spoke of those. Little seeds on the air, invisible to the eye, like flu or fever.
Neyse.
I think that's how molds and mushrooms make more of themselves. Delman spore sample. It sounds familiar.
Bunlar benim sevdiğim gibi güzel
She mentions
yani
these
konudan güzel
toxic
konuşmalar
spores
sürekli
interfering with
konuşmalar
wars.
plan yapan arkadaşlarımız
Does that mean Nathan's
yani
wars?
konudan uzaklaşıyoruz. Ya konudan
If
uzaklaşıyoruz.
these spores breach the isolation tower, he could be in danger.
Önemli bir şey ama ondan sonra yani. Biraz önceki nedenlerden dolayı. Evet, yaratıcılık arkadaşlar.
No, the observation outpost. What happened? Where is everyone?
Efendim? Ne? Eğitim dinliyorum. Eğitimdeyim.
Pinche? Thank the 8 you're all right.
Stranger, you shouldn't. Spores nearly killed me. Barely exposed. Natural immunity. Mistress Dreloth. She coaxed him back to isolation. Delman. Mistress Dreloth's greatest experiment. The cure for the affliction. Delman did this. Trouble breathing. Barely survived. The other researchers, not so.
I'm glad Tunche is all right. But he's just given us more questions than answers. I know he's one of her most trusted assistants, but if this Delman is one of Cecile's experiments, how does Tunche not blame her for what happened here? I know, but fetch it all. I just wish I could remember where I've heard it before. Delman. No, that's just the trouble. If Nathan had said or written it, I'd probably remember it exactly. Delman. It's on the tip of my tongue. Where? That must mean the isolation tower. Where Nathan is. Let's keep going.
Geldi. Gerçekten çocuklar mı?
The researchers too? Gods, what has she done?
Şöyle sevgili arkadaşlar, hepiniz biraz sıcak hem kendinize hem etrafınıza bakın.
Wait. Do you feel that?
Çok sağ olun.
It's like we're being watched.
I've tolerated this incursion
Kendinize
long
ben
enough.
bana tutmaya.
Whoever you are, you've fallen for Dacia's fanciful tale. And now you're enabling her dangerous obsession with my son. Nathan made his feelings for Dacia perfectly clear in the letter he wrote. Or was that vital piece of information kept from you? So what if I did? They both do well to believe it. They can never be together, do you hear me? Never. Leave this place. Forget all that you've seen, or you'll end up worse than Toonshay. Delman. Where did you hear this name, Delman? Ah, I see. So your half-informed mind proves far more dangerous than an uninformed one. You cannot help. Leave this place, or I will do everything in my remaining power to stop you.
Delman was her husband. That's right. I must have heard it from her once, long ago when she first brought me home. He died from an rotten flu. And she's trying to cure. I've never seen her. I don't know. Has she gone mad? Was she always this way? If so, she's been hiding it, and I can't blame her. If she were carted off to Gorn, she'd be parted from Nathan. The thought of it probably only made things worse for her. If you mean to heed Sathil's words and leave, then I'll have to go on alone.
You cannot fight the danger that lies ahead. This is your last chance. Dacia, turn back, or you may never leave this tower again.
Dacia, stay back! I tried to escape, but she was right. My mother was right about everything.
Nathan, what are you talking about? We're here to rescue you.
Stay back from the ward. Mother says it's already in a weakened state due to the strength of my affliction. I don't recognize you, stranger. What are you doing with Dacia? Rescue? And she really does love me? There was this note, you see. I was certain it was fake. Then I saw you and, well, I started to wonder. But I cannot leave. If you came through the caverns, you must have seen what I'm capable of. My father, yes. The affliction my mother gave me. She named it after him. I didn't know until I tried escaping. The wards were never for my protection. They kept others safe from me. If I had left with Dacia when we planned, she'd be dead. A living cure. A symbiote that protects its host with toxic spores. I would not be alive without it, and it would not thrive without me. All these years, she really has been trying to cure me so I might live a normal life. Why did I ever doubt her?
So now you know the truth. I'd kept this secret from Nathan his whole life. That he might not grow up knowing he was a monster of my own making. That he might keep his will to live while I sought a cure. After all, I gave him the Nahatan flu and cured him of that too. Delman and I were trying to save the world. Promising fungal spore sample was on its way from Black Marsh when Delman caught the very thing we were trying to cure. And I lost him. I had to know if the spores would have saved him. And now I know. Nathan came from me. I am enough of him that the fungal symbiote does not register me as a separate entity, and therefore not a threat to its host. That is when I named it. Delman Mycota. The cure, like love, that would be with us always. The truth is a poor cure for love. I did not want Dacia to share my fate of being shackled to tell Dreloff by her own heartstrings, so I tried to drive her away. But since hers is a love that clearly cannot be cured, if Dacia is willing, I can safely inoculate her with the same spores I used on Nathan. She will share his affliction and his confinement, but they will be together, and she will want for nothing, except perhaps her freedom. Then she can make herself useful and help me find a cure. I'll hire her on again. I need someone dependable to procure rare ingredients to keep testing possible cures for Delman Mycota. Perhaps someday she can be one of my researchers.
Bir tane cips alsana be.
I've been studying Delman Mycota for over 20 years. If anyone can find a cure, it's
Alırım.
me.
Geliyor.
I'm not about to abandon my life's most
Param verdi, kartını vereyim.
something that can eradicate the fungus.
Kartın nerede
in
lan?
a heart and flu.
Kartın yok.
What does it matter if she and Nathan are able to live out their days together? I'd only prioritize curing her. But I am a researcher. I am not above recognizing the benefit of additional subjects with which to compare results. My researchers signed on with me because of my area of study. They knew the dangers of Delman Mycota as well as its potential. All that space in the labs was necessary for safe experimentation. I regret their loss, but they knew the risks. Or, if I had time to think of a more believable lie to tell the both of them. I knew they had been meeting for quite some time. When I overheard their plans to run away together, I had to act quickly, or else risk Dacia's certain death. Of course I did. I was glad for it at first. Dacia brought Nathan happiness. If only they could have remained content being in love, with the wards up between them. It was only when they doubted me that things got dangerous. And now, here we are. I suppose my research notes wouldn't give you the whole picture, would they? Toonshay, one of my most devoted researchers, discovered it in a pool of brackish water deep within Black Marsh. Its capture and transport was quite the undertaking. When bonded inside the lungs of its host, Delman Mycota passively produces spores toxic to almost all non-fungal life, as you saw in the caverns. It seems to eradicate anything that might threaten the life of its host, including the Nahatan flu. It is sensitive to smoke, a herald of fire, which causes it to release reproducing spores in anticipation of finding a new host. These are the spores we would use to inoculate Dacia, if that is what she chooses. Correct. Somehow, Delman Mycota recognizes itself, and of course doesn't see itself as a threat. Argonians like Toonshay are a different case, but only barely. Their natural resistance to...
Nathan and I could finally be together. But the way to do so means becoming his mother's experiment. But I'd be safe, provided for. I'd get to dance, and leaving for good is no option for me. My heart is Nathan's, and his is mine. If I don't give up my freedom, I can help Sethiel find a cure. I get to see the world like I always wanted. Life offers no guarantee of love either. But I found that, didn't I? I don't see it as giving up my freedom. I see it as a choice of how I get to show my love. But my heart is split. If you were in my place, which would you choose? After I lost everything, leaving for good, life offers no guarantee of love either. But I found that if my freedom is the price of being with Nathan, then I'll pay it.
You're staying? Truly? Are you sure, Dacia?
I fought this hard just to get to you, Nathan. Of course I'm staying.